Game number 8 for the Boston Bruins as they are on the road to take on the Washington Capitals and Alexander Ovechkin and the rest of the COVID Capitals. The Bruins 5-1-1 on the season, a hell of a January for the Boston Bruins. However, they are playing a Washington team that has yet to lose in regulation, the only team in the NHL that hasn't had a regulation loss. So for the Bruins, in net, it's 2 U's, 2 K's, 2 Rask. For the Washington Capitals, it is Vitek Vanacek, who is in place of Ilya Samsonov, as Samsonov, Dmitry Orlov, and Evgeny Kuznetsov, all on the shelf in the COVID protocol because everyone on the team who is a Russian decided to have a meeting in a hotel room. Unfortunately, the person who is not on that list who is actually playing is the grade 8 Alexander Ovechkin. As you saw by all the pomp and circumstance of earlier, David Pastrnak makes his return for the Boston Bruins and his season debut after missing the first 7 due to his injuries and surgeries from last year. But the Boston Bruins do not get out of the well of the injury club just yet, as Jack Studnicka becoming the latest victim of the Bruins injury club. So into the second line comes the coolest man on ice, Carson Kuhlman, and Connor Clifton, Cliffy Hockey, back in the lineup for Matt Grzelcyk with a lower body injury as well. And the Boston Bruins do really, really well in the first period. Again, no surprise. They outshoot the Washington Capitals 19-7. 19-7, which means, of course, the Washington Capitals score first with a little bit less than 2 minutes, as it's a breakout by the Capitals. Nicholas Backstrom gets the puck to the Boston Brew line, where Patrice Bergeron is there. A rare turnover by Patrice Bergeron, as Backstrom gets the puck back and just a high glove snipe shot against Tuukka Rask. Nothing Rask could do about that. It's just a beautifully placed shot by Backstrom. And the Washington Capitals go up 1-0. Now the big problem, Boston Bruins had plenty of chances to put the puck in the net early in the period. A couple of good multiple second option opportunities. But then towards the end of the period, you saw them just settling for shots on the board, shots from distance, shots with no traffic in front of the net, just easy saves for Vanacek, who really started to settle as we got later into the first and the second period. Not many dangerous scoring opportunities for the Boston Bruins, but a big danger, under a minute left in the game, the Boston Bruins were on the power play, and Zdeno Chara gets a puck right to the face, which you do not like to see at all, especially from a guy that age, the former captain of your hockey team. But Zdeno Chara is tough as nails. We all know this in Boston. So naturally, he played 20-plus minutes. So again in the second period, the Boston Bruins outshoot the Washington Capitals. This time, 15-10. So a little bit better for Washington. But naturally, Washington will extend the lead. As, again, Nicholas Backstrom takes the puck wide around Brad Marchand. He goes up to Brendan Dillon at the point. D-to-D pass to Trevor Van Riemsdyk, who takes a shot from distance, unlike his brother, James Van Riemsdyk, who takes shots from in front of the net. And he puts it with the wrist shot past Tuukka Rask. I don't know if Rask ever saw this, because Jakub Zboril just skates right in front of Tuukka Rask. And if you are going to skate in front of your goaltender, block the shot, get in front of the shot. Try to make the save yourself. Anyway, Washington goes up 2-0. A little bit later on in the second period, David Krejci going to the box, 2 minutes for hooking. And in the ensuing power play, it is a Washington face-off win. Back to Alexander Ovechkin. Goes over to Tom Wilson with Richard Panik in front of Tuukka Rask. Wilson with a blistering shot. And Richard Panik gets just enough of it to get it by Tuukka Rask. 3-0. The Washington Capitals extend the lead on the power play. And the Bruins are starting to not look like this is going to be anything positive out of this one. But towards the end of the second period, Hathaway goes to the box, 2 minutes for interference. The Boston Bruins go to the power play, and it's a face-off win by Patrice Bergeron back to David Krejci, goes over to the high slot, takes the shot, it goes off a Washington stick, and goes off of Nick Ritchie's big fat ass in front of the net, as he should be, on a power play. The power play monster gets his 4th of the year, and the Boston Bruins are on the board to end the second period. In the third period, it looks like Carson Kuhlman was taken out of the lineup or moved or lowered his minutes, maybe sending a message to him because he wasn't really producing all that much. Craig Smith did get double shifted. Maybe it was an injury. I honestly couldn't tell. Either way, towards the early part of the period, Washington will ice the puck, and Bruce Cassidy, smart as he is, after the icing, sends out the top line, and this is just a beautiful set play by the Boston Bruins. A Patrice Bergeron face-off win to Charlie McAvoy. He skates around the boards to Wayne Gretzky's office, which is behind the net, if you do not know. Passes it right in front of the net, finds Brad Marchand, snipes City, 3-2. The Bruins might be able to pull this off. And towards the very end of the third period, with under a minute to go, the Boston Bruins pull Tuukka Rask. It's a 6-on-5 opportunity. David Krejci breaking his stick on a shot, but Charlie McAvoy is there to keep in the rebound. He puts the shot into traffic, into bodies, into Patrice Bergeron specifically. Gets it to the front of the net where David Pastrnak is. There is chaos all over in front of Vanacek. Anyway, Pasta bounces it over to the guy who started the play to begin with, Charlie McAvoy, who crashes the net, puts it in on the 6-on-5 with under a minute to go. The Boston Bruins tie it up 3-3. Towards the very, very end of that period, Tuukka Rask had to make 2 phenomenal saves, but the Bruins come back from 3-0 to get a point in this one, make it 3-3. They outshoot the Washington Capitals 9-5. What a way to make a living. The Boston Bruins get a point and go to overtime. So in the overtime period, Bruce Cassidy brings out David Krejci, and David Pastrnak are out there with Charlie McAvoy instead of Bergeron and Marchand. They get met with Carlson, Backstrom, and Ovechkin. And the Boston Bruins never see the puck at all. No possession whatsoever in the overtime period, as it is over with one shot. As Nicholas Backstrom gets the puck to center, he drops it back to Alexander Ovechkin. Ovechkin skating it into the Boston zone. You see Pastrnak, Krejci, McAvoy, they all start to gang in on Alexander Ovechkin, but it does not matter. He gets the shot off, and it is a snipe on Tuukka Rask. Beats some blocker side. The Bruins lose in overtime 4-3 to the Washington Capitals. Now, it should be known that Boston outshot the Washington Capitals 43-23 in this game. Washington, however, outhit the Boston Bruins 38-15. So Washington really playing the physical game, where Boston had a lot more of the possession. Again, not a lot of good shots by the Bruins until the very end, where they started getting pucks and bodies and traffic in front of Vanacek. We'll see what happens, as these two are going to play each other again on Monday night. So David Pastrnak looked well. He got an assist in the game. Definitely, it's going to take a little bit of time for that line to kind of get it together. We'll see if Jack Studnicka can play in the second game. We'll see, maybe, is Kuhlman still in the lineup? What's the status on Jake DeBrusk? The injuries are still there for this Boston Bruins team, as they still do not have what should be their top 12 forwards in a game. But so far for the Bruins, it really hasn't made that much of a difference, as they finished the stretch 5-1-3, which, hell of a January. Hell of a January for the injured Boston Bruins, as they go into February looking to keep the momentum and stay top 4 in their division, because top 4 is the only way you make the playoffs, baby. We'll see you next time Monday night as the Bruins take on the Capitals again on the Bruins Recap Show.